Hi, it's Vex, and today we're going to end our journey through the Time Spiral block with Future Sight. That's right, we revisited Time Spiral here, we revisited Future Sight there, and now, did I say Future Sight? Planar Chaos. This is Future Sight. These are cards from the future, or some, a little bit of throwbacks. They had the Future Shifted frames, like these right here. But they also had some futuristic cards with tons of keywords. This set was so full of keywords. If you're a beginning player or you've been out of game for so long, you read these cards, there's a million keywords. Like look at Shadow, Flash, Convoke, Suspend. Let's see what else? I don't know. Flash. Well, there's Flash right there too. A 0 casting cost. White card. Wow. Craziness. You have the cheese stands alone, an uncard that's actually like turned to a real card. Baron Glory. It's exactly the same text as cheese stands alone. So funny. Angel Salvation. So this is reprinted in Time Spiral Remastered. Here I got Flash and Convoke. I don't know what it does. It doesn't do that much. So let's just keep moving on here. The cool part is we had actually very few white cards were reprinted. I think that's the only white rare. So when I say white cards, I mean white rare. Avon Mind Sensor was reprinted in Amonkhet. So what they want to do with these future shifted cards is actually print them in a future set, because this is from the future, or is looking into the future. So they reprinted Avon Mind Sensor in Amonkhet as a rare, but they reprinted it as an uncommon again, because it's originally uncommon in Time Spiral Remastered. So they did one. So every set, when they print any set, they always look at the future shifted sheets, which is this future shifted border, and see if a new set can have these future shifted cards in them. But this is the first time they had the full art cards. This is not textless because it didn't even have anything in the text box anyway, so it's full art. Vanilla creatures. They had Daybreak Coronet, Enchantment, Enchant creature with another aura attached to it, so it's kind of weird. Interesting. They had this tribal. This is the first time ever they had the word tribal on it. Tribal enchantment, Rebel aura. So this had a creature type on a non-creature card. I don't know why they needed the word tribal in front. It could just be enchantment, Rebel aura, but some rules reason. They had Lucid Luminid. First time they had an enchantment creature before Theros, the original Theros. So it's interesting things here. They had a morph enchantment. They had some more slivers, future shifted slivers. Miss Metal Skulk was in the set next door, right after in Lorwyn, so they see this future site with that, knowing that they'll reprint that. See these random cards. They had these cool this Orisis. They have Grandeur ability, so you discard another card named Orisis, Samite Guardian. Target player can't play spells this turn, so if you had multiple legends, you had this legend play, you discard your another legend. A really popular one of that one cycle is where is he? Corlash, which is really cool. I really like that. It had Delay. It's like a cheap counter spell. It actually says counter target spell, but it puts 3 suspense counters on it, so it delays it by 3 turns. But they had the Magus cycle, enchantment Maguses. So let's see what white Magus look like. Magus of the Moat. Unfortunately, again, Moat is a reserve list card, so they made a Magus of the Moat. Creature version of Moat. Same casting cost, too. Magus of the Future. I believe Future Sight is also... Is it? No, Future Sight is not... it's kind of funny. The card Future... The card itself is Future Sight. Magus of the Future is replicating the enchantment called Future Sight. If you actually look through the Magic cards... there's actually an official card called Time Spiral. There's an official card called Planar Chaos, and there's an official card called Future Sight. So they use the same card names in the set names. Interesting. I think another time is Hour of Devastation had a card inside of it called Hour of Devastation. It's very confusing. But Magus of the Future's there. Pact of Negation. This really needed a reprint. This is getting really expensive. It did get a reprint in Modern Masters 2, I believe. Yeah, actually, I think it got a reprint in Masters 25, but it's still expensive card, still good. So if you get one of these, save these up, you can trade them in. Very good. Yeah, split second on these cards. Let's see what else. Shadow Suspend, Flash, Morph, Flying Morph, split second suspend. So all these little Scry 1, Scry 2. This is before Scry was like really evergreen. Grandeur. So tons of crazy stuff here. And let's look at the green. Future shifted sheet. Venser's reprint. Venser's a great card. I love playing in Blink decks. EDH is great. Used to be really good in standard. You would Venser a spell, even uncounterable spell, because you return it to his owner's hand. Logic Knot was an insane card. Delve. So this is a mechanic they had in the Sultai Wedge in Concept Talk here. So they had Delve here first. They had the again the full art Narcomoeba, a way to put this for Dredge. Very, very powerful in Dredge. Nyx, so this is such a weird card. Counter target spell if no mana was spent to play it. Instead of play it now, they changed the word to cast. Sarcomite Mirror. It's actually the first colored artifact creature, so that's another interesting thing they did in Future Sight. This was never reprinted into a set. Narcomoeba was reprinted into Ravnica Allegiance, I believe. Oh no, Guilds of Ravnica. So interesting things here. Then move on to black. You know, you have your Magus of the Abyss. Abyss, unfortunately, is a reserveless card, so now, but you still print in Magus form. So it's interesting, you know. Slaughter Pact was reprinted. This is a way to kill things for 0 mana. So it's like at the beginning of Magic, before Force of Will, before anything, like when your opponent's tapped out, you know they can't do anything. But now you have Pact of Negation, Force of Negation, Force of Will, all these Fierce Guardianship, all these 0 casting cost cards. So being tapped out means very little nowadays. And Slaughter Pact is one of those things that does it too. Bridge from Below. This enchantment literally does nothing on the battlefield, like absolutely nothing. It has to be in the graveyard. It's so weird. So they had extremely weird cards like this right there. They had Gravestorm right here, Bitter Ordeal, you know. So it's just fun to look through here. Again, Street Wraith, yeah, the Cycling Pay 2 Life, very strong. It's actually in foil too. It's probably worth quite a bit. Foil. Core Lash, it's awesome. You know, power tops equal number of swamps you control. Grandeur ability is one of my favorite Grandeur ability cards. Discard another card named Core Lash. Search your library for up to 2 swamp cards. Put them into play tapped. So it's pretty good in like some casual deck. In standard, it was pretty fun. It wasn't that great. Tombstalker was reprinted. Flying Delve used to be a legacy powerhouse, you know, but they have Gurmag Angular now because this is double black's hard. I thought they would put this in the Sultai and Konzatar here as a future shifted card, but they didn't. I don't know why they didn't. So that's just an interesting thing. Then we have nothing else reprinted here. Magus of the Moon. Magus of the Moon is Eternal Staple. Blood Moon. Blood Moon printed originally in the dark. This is the creature form. So now you can have the, like 8 moons, 4 Blood Moons for Magus of the Moon. They did reprint it and gave it new art, so it's pretty fun there. Pact of Titan. I don't know why this is like another uncard come to life. Rock Power Turbo Slug. Except for this creature does not have haste. It'd be cool if it 4/4 with haste, but you know it's kind of dangerous because you get 4 packs on their 4 Pact of Titans on your first turn. You get 4 4/4s with haste, 16 damage. So that's why I didn't give it haste. You had Ghostfire. It's kind of like you had the mirror here with a colorless, typically colorless card as an artifact. That's a colored card. Now you have a colorless card with a colored mana cost. Foretold cards from Battle for Zendikar, but the thing is they didn't reprint this because it just didn't fit in the set, so it's like another thing. However, Strixhaven does have Grinning Ignis reprinted, so that's really cool. So that's going to be reprinted in Strixhaven. I know it's always fun to see which future shifted card gets reprinted. Very few do. I think this thing got reprinted somewhere, but not in a standard set. Then you have crazy stuff here. Where's the get some Echo cards, Slivers, Torx Blade Wing. I think they printed another Blade Wing in Dominaria. Force of Savagery, like crazy card. Look at it, 8-0 trample. Like, what the heck are you gonna do with that? It just dies when you play it without some buff spell. Magus of the Vineyard, I think it's Aladomri's Vineyard. This replicates Heartward Storyteller, was reprinted. This is a really interesting card. It's actually was a teeny bit pricey, but whenever a player plays a non-creature spell, each of that player's opponents may draw a card. So it's not exactly like Beast Whisperer or anything like that, because your opponents get to draw a card. Rift Sweeper, like one of the few cards I remember that mess with exile. When it enters the battlefield, choose target face-up card as exiled. Its owner may shuffle into their library. Interesting. Summoner's Pact, another pact here. Sprout Swarm, Bane of Limited. They did not reprint that in Time Spiral Remastered. Edge of Autumn. This is a good Doomsday Legacy. Doomsday lets you cycle while stacking lands. Interesting. More interesting card. Pyrosaurus can only spend mana from basic lands. Creatures with no abilities get +2/+2. I'm not gonna try to pronounce that. The big boy here, Termagoyf. God, and even had the word new types called tribal and planeswalker. I'm like, what are those types? What do they do? Interesting to see that. You had poisonous, another keyword. Some more keyword soup everywhere. And look at this, all reprinted Time Spiral Remastered. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 cards in a row. I know, crazy. Sliver Legion, most expensive card of the set. It used to be Termagoyf. They printed this to Oblivion, and they finally gave us Sliver Legion a reprint, and people are so excited because this thing was so expensive. Glittering Wish, one of the first wishes in Legal and Modern. Joyride makes things suspend counters. Cloud Key makes things cheaper. Chroma's Memorial makes things everything at Chroma's. The original Man Rock and Commander, Coalition Relic, not so great anymore. They had this fortification thing, and they never made another Darksteel Garrison, another like kind of like a land equipment morph artifacts. I love this frames. I know these are like frames before the showcase frames, the Eldraine frames, the Theros frames, Ikoria frames. So before all the crazy new frames, these are the original cool new types of frames. Like, they look completely different than these. So it's fun that they experimented. I actually am surprised it took them that long to actually bring these frames, like have different frames, magic frames, as a normal thing. And I forgot to tell one interesting story. Steamflogger Boss. That's right. Man, this was a joke. It says, other riggers, creatures you control get +1/+1 and have haste. If a rigger you control would assemble a contraption, assembles 2 contraptions instead. This rule text was supposed to be a joke. Was supposed to be nothing as a joke, but like, people asked for contraptions so much that they couldn't. They had to figure out how to add it to Magic, and they had to add it to Silverboard in Unstable. So this one was the only black border card reprinted in Unstable. So funny. Anyways, going on to the lands. Sword of the Meek has a Thopter Founder, Sword of Meek combo. Reprinted Double Master. I think the whole combo was reprinted Double Master. It had a land with Dredge. So these lands had weird keywords: Dredge, Hellbent, Graft, Transmute. This is extremely good. Was reprinted and upshifted to rare in Time Spiral Remastered, because you can transmute for any land or any 0 casting cost item, like the packs or Engineering Explosive and everything. This had Scry. This is like the worst Scry land ever, because now they have the 2-color pair Scry lands. So this is horrible. Dried Arbor. So they experimented with having a land creature. I don't think they have a land creature of other colors. It gets really too confusing. Now they have a rule where you put your lands in front. So even if it's a land, but I mean all your creatures, if they're creatures, they go in front row. And they have these 5 dual lands, all different. It's kind of crazy to imagine. Like, usually they come in cycles. These are allied dual lands, completely different abilities. The Graven Karen cycle was finished and printed in Shadowmoor block. Grove Burn Wills was never finished. This only has 6 lands, so this is very interesting. I think it's the only land cycle that has 6 of the 10 completed. So weird. They have the enemy ones in Modern Horizon. One, I wonder if they can have these finish up the ally ones in Modern Horizon 2. It'd just be good just to finish this land, because like, these are very powerful cards in EDH, I think, because it prevents flood. It fixes colors. It's just so good, and I want all 10. I'm annoyed that they don't have it. It's very annoying. Nimbus Base, River Tears. This is weird because there'd be 10 color pairs of this, but there's also the reverse, because what it says add blue to your mana pool. If you play a land this turn, add black. So they can always reverse it, add black, then add blue. So it's like this thing is a cycle that could be 20. So this is it's not that great. I love the art so much though, but I don't think they're gonna finish that. So let's leave that there. You see, I do have a full play set of Future Sight. When I started the game back up, it was Lauren, so I decided to go back one set and just collect the whole Future Sight. This is not remember, this is actually a very expensive set because it wasn't popular. Not a lot of people opened the packs and everything, and I just went right in because I thought it was so cool. The cool old frames, 4 packs of negations. To get old frames, I actually bought some full arts because they just look cool. I love the art. I was never gonna play it in a deck, but I love the art. They have made a vanilla 2/3, creature for 2 and a blue. Nyx, that is so useful. Some of these cards are so useless. Narcomoeba is very useful, but I just love the art and the old frame. Not even the old frame, the future frame. It's so fun. Bridge from Below. It's very broken in Dredge. I believe this is banned in Modern, but it was banned because they didn't want to ban Hogak. They should just unban it. Maybe. Street Wraith, so sweet. So you can just see how sweet. Magus of the Moon here. More packs. Just look through these cards. Just brings back fun memories of opening these packs. Force of Savagery, 8/0. It's just Summoner's Pact. I love Rift Sweeper. I think I got an extra full because I just love the card so much. Moraganda Petroglyphs. I mean, people try to break this, but I don't know. It's just a horrible card. I think for one more white man, you can get +2/+2 all your creatures, or +3. I forgot what it was. That white one, the Selesnya one. Edge of Arm. I love this card again. Picture. It's about more foils. I actually seen somebody open a foil Tormorgoyf, and they buy listed it for like $25. So imagine how much that's worth today. A foil Tormorgoyf. So I got my playset here. It's sweet. I have my playset Sliver Legions. I have this again. This is when I don't have the card. I put the Forest RSA or basic land, saying, "Hey, I'm just using it for a deck." Sort of the Meek. I have my Brea deck. This is one of my first decks that I have, my Prosh deck. This Mana Rock's horrible now, but it's in my old deck. Keep it there just for fun. All you see here, all these land Dryad Arbors in my my CEH Nagila deck. Works really well with what is that? Green Sun Zenith. Anyways, it's so super fun going down memory lane. As I wrap up the videos, leave it on Tormorgoyf here. Remember, back in the day, no one wanted Future Sight. It was just Tormorgoyf was like a $2 creature. He was really, people figured out how good he was really quickly, but beginning, there's some cards that just don't do very much. I think that these cards have really applied to EDH. And a little bit competitive Magic, but again, EDH dictates price cards nowadays. Oops, I'm supposed to keep it on Tormorgoyf. Keep moving around. But Tormorgoyf has been outclassed, by so many different cards. It's in Jund. He's played in Legacy. I think Vintage Tormorgoyf is the most used creature. It's kind of funny. It still has one home, powerful home in Vintage. But it's super fun going through memory lane. But if you enjoyed this video, like I enjoyed going back in memory lane, give it the video a thumbs up. Smash the subscribe button, hit the notification bell. There's a TCG player affiliate link in the description below. And as always, have a wonderful day.